So you're turning what other people might deem a disability into like their superpower and harnessing it for good.
Well, so we just had kind of an internal reevaluation of a bunch of our language. And I want to be careful to say, we're not trying to turn a superpower into a competitive advantage. Folks on the spectrum are humans, just like the rest of humanity. And our director of engineering, this lady, Nicole Radziwill, who's awesome, she's like, hey, I just want to be good at my job. I don't want to always be under the pressure to be superhuman or to have a superpower. And really, the core kind of supposition here is that, you know, folks on the spectrum are all different. You can find people on the spectrum who have a particular set of attributes and affinity for this particular job. And attributes and affinity equals a successful, competent employee. And so what we look for is alignment of those attributes and aptitudes and core motivation to do the particular types of jobs we have. And we find it. And the folks then are very good at their job. But, you know, we don't position it as like this kind of popular media, Rain Man, like superpower. That's not what it's about. And really, the two things that I think are remarkable are how much energy the culture at Ultranauts puts into creating a universal workplace that works for everybody, people on and off the spectrum, true cognitive diversity. And the you know, underpinnings of that are the core idea is that having cognitive diversity means better business outcomes. And I think it's been a pleasure to be a part of helping to invent that universal workplace that works for everyone. And the simple little changes that you can make to be truly socially inclusive are enlightening as you come across them, humbling in how small they can be for you and how large it can be for someone else. And fascinating in terms of just purely good management practices and cultural and communication practices for any company. Well, ultimately, Ultranauts wants to open source a bunch of the learnings of how to set up a cognitively diverse universal workplace. We actually just launched a tool called the Biodex. It's in alpha now, but it's a Slack bot that one of the employees essentially said, hey, I want to, I really am frustrated. I wish people had a user manual. And we said, hey, sure, why don't we make one? And so at Ultra, we have this thing called the Biodex, which is essentially the user manual for people. So yeah, it was a pretty cool thing that we inflated and kind of cared for a long time under the kind of venture inflation auspices of Elephant. And now it took an A round of funding last summer, a year, almost 18 months ago now, and it's been just growing like gangbusters. It's been a fully remote company since its origin. We like to say it's been COVID proof for 7 years.